Hi there, welcome to my channel. Tonight is a really lovely summer evening. It's late July. We've had triple digit weather for the past week or probably more. It's been humid and it's suddenly cooled off, and we're actually supposed to dip down into the 80s for highs this week. So I thought this gives me a chance to do a project I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So I'm out here in the back corner of our property in what we refer to as our forest area. There's a few evergreens. This is where I love to forage during Christmas time, and it's just a really nice area with lots of potential for a shade garden. And I actually started my shade garden last month, just bare minimum. I just got a few little hostas in the ground, and we did our chicken run extension back into the forest area to give the girls more space, shaded space, and it's just been wonderful. So because we're really trying to expand our shade garden, I wanted to add just a small feature to really mark the entrance. So what we're doing tonight is putting up an arbor and planting some climbing roses. All right, so walking around, we got to stop for our Thumbelina zinnias right here, keeping the girls company. But our arbor is right over here. It's just black. You can see it's very subtle. It doesn't stand out too much, and that's what I wanted. I just wanted a structure that would provide support for our climbing roses. So you can see the evergreens kind of naturally frame an entrance, and this has just become the entrance into our new chicken run. So I'll just walk you back there real quick. You'll notice bags. This is an evolving process. We didn't mean to do this, and it just kind of happened. My husband said, let's lay down some pea gravel and just start working on our path. So this is our shade garden. Before I did this last month, everything looked like this. So this is what the forest area just kind of naturally looks like. It's on a slope. And actually, let me show you something. This soil up here, see how it's really white? I've been told by several people that this is actually a mixture of ash from when Mount St. Helens erupted. So very interesting. I kind of wondered why it was so powdery, why it was so white. Okay, so I'm back down in the entrance, and you can see that we just started kind of collecting rocks. This is all from around our property, nothing fancy, it's very simple, and we just started kind of creating little borders, and then we had some peat gravel left over, and so my husband just tipped a bag. I gave it the old barefoot test to see if I could walk on it barefoot, because I'm always barefoot, and we thought it looked really nice. So we're just gonna kind of start working on our paths. But here's our chicken run extension. I always say this is definitely function over beauty, but part of the beauty is this whole area back here is hidden by all of our forest. The girls really love it. They love having so much more space, so much more shade. We have our two new girls over here, they're Brahmas, and they've really integrated with the rest of the flock very smoothly. It's obviously an evolving process. It's going to take time, and we're just going to slowly chip away at it. But I can already see how this is making the foliage pop. I love it. It doesn't blend in so much. I can't wait to get the rest of these bags laid out. But let me kind of show you the overall plan. Hopefully you can kind of see where I've raked out some pathways, but I'm just going to continue gardens, and I'm actually calling them islands. So from here, the path will continue up the hill that I just walked up to show you the ash. I'd like to do another path right here because I love my neighbor, and I think it would be so fun to have a little path where we can meet. And then this will become kind of our first island. So think hostas, maybe ferns, all sorts of really lush, pretty green foliage. You can see some of these trees are really dry. Some of them need to come down, and we will do that at some point. But for now, we're just kind of raking. We need to rake out all of this brush. You can see I did a little clipping today. Need to remove the fire hazard. Okay, but from here, The path will continue, and over here, this is where we have another island. And this is another spot where you can stop and kind of watch the chickens, which I love to watch chickens. I think it is so fun. It'd be neat to put a little bench in here maybe. I told my husband we need a little like bistro set, and he kind of, he wasn't sure about that, but we'll see. So more gardens, and then here, so right here, you can see that there is one tree, two trees. So what should go in between but a nice hammock? And I thought it'd be fun to kind of make a little landing, maybe continue pea gravel, and then do some pavers just to make it a little more formal right here. And this is where I can lounge and just listen to the birds. Okay, so this is a slope right here, so probably need to put in some steps at some point. I'm not going to worry about this. This isn't the prettiest of things back here. It'll take some time, not a priority right now. But from here, I want to continue the path right here. So pea gravel, and then these are very makeshift steps. I need to replace them and figure out a better way to have some steps through here. But just think, continuing the gravel, I think, and then we're out the other side. So I'm a big fan of Alan Smith, and he always talks about the different elements of design when you're designing your garden. And one of the things he talks about is framing the view. So around this time, maybe it's a little later, but the sun starts to set and it really shines in on these hostas right here, which of course are still small. They're still in their first year, but as they get bigger, I think it's really going to have more of a spotlight effect. And this arbor with hopefully some roses over will really frame that view. And then from inside the forest, we get the view this way. And I just really love how the yard looks, especially at this point when the sun is starting to set, golden hour. Everything's really pretty. So just picture this view with some roses. And the roses I got a butter yellow and then a white. So this is the first rose I got. This is the white climbing rose. It is called a Cloud 10, and this one climbs to be 7 to 8 feet tall. It says on the description that these are very clean blooms. They almost resemble like English roses, and I think this is going to be perfect. So I think it'll grow about a third of the way up the arbor. Okay, and the second rose I got is called Golden Showers. This is the soft, kind of creamy butter yellow. We have a lot of spent blooms. I need to take care of those, but it's this really pretty butter yellow color. And this rose gets to be, I think it's 12 to 14 feet high. So this one, if you picture, I think the butter yellow, I'm going to plant it on this side, and I think it'll go about 2/3 of the way, and then the white will go the other third. So I think with those sizes, they'll meet and kind of intermingle in a really pretty way. It won't be so half, it'll be 2/3, 1/3. And I love the colors. I think the butter yellow and the white are really gonna pop against this evergreen backdrop. I have a drip line running right down here. You can see some of the spaghetti tubing coming out. I already went ahead and attached my tubing so that my roses would be set up. So I have them just running over here. I left them long. I didn't put the emitters on the ends yet. I think I'm gonna go with 2-gallon-an-hour emitters and just kind of see how it goes. See how happy they are over time. You can see this one stick. There it is right there. So it's just buried in the soil, and of course we'll cover that with pea gravel, which it's still easy enough to access if we ever need. Okay, so of course we want to clean the roses up before we plant them. We did talk to the garden center about planting in heat. Luckily, we're getting this cool break to give them a little bit of time to kind of settle in. But he said, go ahead and make sure you clean them up. So that's what I'm going to do. So I am just going to follow the spent bloom down until I find a grouping of 5 leaves. So there's one right there. Just make a cut right above. Okay. Same thing over here. I just want to keep cleaning these up so that they have energy to spend toward producing new blooms. Got this new little bud right here, ready to go. The other thing the people at the garden center said was, first of all, clean them up, get them groomed, and then make sure to use a very good rose starter fertilizer. So they loaded me up with that, and they said go ahead and add some an acidifier. So I might use some Hollytone, or I might shop around a little bit. I am going to amend our native soil here with some potting soil. Anytime you plant in the middle of summer, you just want to make sure you're providing enough water and keeping an eye on things. There is always some risk, of course, but I love to plant. I would hate to not do this project and get to next spring and just look back and wish I would have done it. All right, in terms of bracing our arbor, I did put a little, what's that called? Anchor in that corner, but I don't think that's going to be quite enough. I sunk it down pretty good into the ground, but I think we're going to add some of these rods we have in the back of the forest. I'm going to spray paint them black, probably not tonight, and then I think we'll just wedge them right down just to kind of bolster it and run them really deep, just to provide a little bit of a brace because we do get some wind from this direction. Okay, I feel like I've been digging for 100 years. Ran into some roots, but I think we're about there. So have our holes dug, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get some fertilizer and some soil and just amend everything and get them planted. I'm starting to lose a little light, so just trying to work quickly. All right, good morning. It's the next day. I ran out of light last night. It looks like our sprinklers ran, and I'm actually wondering if the roses are going to get too much water in these spots. I noticed this morning as our sprinklers were going that they get a lot of overhead spray, and of course it is better for them to have drip or, you know, water from underneath. So I'm just going to have to monitor and kind of see. But for now, I think what I'm going to start working on is just pouring our path. I was looking at footage last night on my camera and I noticed this really looks narrow, especially on footage. It doesn't feel too bad when I walk through here, but of course adding in these rocks made it tighter. So I might over time kind of work on these. I don't think I'll worry about it today. Today I'm just gonna kind of get the gravel laid, clean things up a bit, and go from there. Now, this is the pea gravel we're going with. This normally isn't the way we'd go. I think it would be a little more cost effective to get a bulk order of pea gravel from a landscape company or garden center. But it was after hours last night. My husband decided to run down, just get enough to kind of give us a feel. And because so many of these bags were ripped, they actually gave us 75% off. So it turned out being a really good deal. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and start laying the pathway.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I've become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since 99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go, so come what may.
Okay, we got all of our gravel laid out. I just want to do a quick walkthrough to kind of show you what it looks like as of now. So here's our gravel. I love walking through the entryway. And again, these rocks, we've just been having fun kind of foraging our property and just finding them all over. I use my little wicker tray and just go collecting. My kids help me, and we're just, for now, using them as borders. I really like the sound of the gravel underfoot. It's a really nice, calming sound. There's lots of little pockets. I can just picture some hostas tucked right in here, kind of draping over the walkway, softening this edge up. So you can see we kind of left some areas. This is the start of our path over towards our neighbors. And then this is our Y, which goes on up. And you can see this is where I stopped for now, laying the little rocks. So again, the goal is to continue the path, winding up and around, down the stairs, and then out the other side. I do want to do a hammock here, and then my oldest daughter let me know that she would like her own hammock here. So again, as you picture this, I hope you can kind of visualize, but just picture a lot of lush hostas, maybe some ferns just tucked everywhere so that everything looks nice and green. It's really serene back here, very shady. I don't know if you can hear the birds, but it's very peaceful. So again, this area will all be planted up, get some hostas to kind of soften up our chicken run. I really love how we were able to just quickly and pretty cheaply tidy this space up. It's not perfect, it's not supposed to be. I didn't want anything that looked too contrived. Just very kind of cottagey, very simple, and just kind of fun. So that's going to be about it for this project. It wasn't supposed to be quite this involved. It was just going to be our arbor and climbing roses, which I'm so excited to watch the roses grow and kind of really form that entrance to our forest area. But I am glad that we kind of chipped away and just kind of got a better idea of what this area could look like back here. It feels tidier. It already feels like the plants are popping a little more. It's very serene, very calm, and it's just nice to have a shady place to escape to, especially when the temperatures are this hot. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.